Hello, my friends. It's Thursday, which means we are doing another YouTube Live. Tonight, we're playing with Rooted in Nature. This is just one of the cards that I'm going to be doing. I'm actually going to do 3 with the same stamp set. And all you're going to need, if you want to play along, is some cardstock. I'm using Whisper White, cut at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I might trim it when I go to actually make the cards, but I haven't decided yet. So we have got blending brushes. Love, 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 love using these. I am also using Memento Black ink. Pacific Point. I did post my supply list on my Facebook page earlier today, and I said a blue, a brown, and a green. For my brown, I've selected Soft Suede and Mossy Meadow for my green. I'm going to start with something fairly quick and easy, just to kind of get us warmed up and into it. So I'm going to do my own background paper. So I'm just going to use the 2 small leaf sets here, which are this one and that one. And I'm going to grab my smallest stamp block, take off the snail that I left on there when I was doing my kids' Valentine's cards. And I'm going to do 1 in green and 1 in brown. We're going, I guess, to go more of a fall tone tonight. So I like doing odd numbers when I stamp. So in the Mossy Meadow, I'm going to do, I don't know, 3 or 5. It might actually help if I pointed this down so you can actually see what I'm doing. I don't know, the lighting doesn't seem to be great tonight at all. Whoops. And 1 there. I'm going to do 5 of this one. And I'll put this one just right here. Close the ink pad before something unpleasant happens. And then I'm going to grab the Soft Suede and my single larger leaf. And then I'm just going to do probably 3. No, I think I need 5 for this one too. Actually, I'll do 4 because then we've got odd number of 9. And that looks a little bit plain to me at the moment. So I'm just going to do a little bit of paper direct to ink pad, just to kind of give the edges a little bit of color. And you can see that it's just kind of giving it a little bit of definition. Now you can just hold your paper and gently take your ink pad. It's not going to be perfect. So if you want something that's a little bit more controlled, you can absolutely use a sponge for that. Or you can even ink up your brushes, the blending brushes, and that'll do a quick and easy job too. And then of course you can just keep going until you're happy with it. I'm going to call that one done. And for my sentiment, I'm in a challenge this month where we're doing Thinking of You cards, and it seems rather appropriate for today. I've been thinking a lot about different people in my family and some friends. So I'm going to grab my stamp block and I'm going to use my Soft Suede again. Hello, Amber. Okay, and make sure you got it the right way. I don't always put the stamp block or the stamp stickers on my block or on my stamp set. So sometimes it's a bit challenging to see which way is up. But this should be the right way. And there you go. Quick, easy, masculine card. You can add a little bit of ribbon. You can add a little bit of bling just to kind of dress it up a bit. But this is also a really great way for a new stamper to get used to using the same stamp set but different colors to create their own look. Okay, so off with that one. And for my next one, I'm going to go with just the Mossy Meadow. And for this one, I'm going to use the leaves for this one. So this one and this one. And again, I'm kind of going to make my own designer series paper. Put this off to the side. But I'm going to do a little bit of watercoloring, super fast and super easy. So I'll put this one on that way, this one on that way. Grab a piece of the basic white paper. And then just ink them up. And again, whichever direction you want on your paper. This one actually looks like it should be re-inked soon. Okay, and I'll take the big one off and just do the little one right there. And we'll do it that way. Okay, so this looks really pretty, just the way it is, but I'm going to bring in Wink of Stella, close the ink pad, just to give it a little bit of shimmer and shine, and also to give it a bit of a watercolor look. So I'm just going to grab this and gently, this has already been primed, so I don't need to apply a whole lot of pressure, and just follow the shape of the leaf. And because the ink is water-based, it'll start to pull the color out of the veining and out of the leaf shape, like the outline of the leaf, and it will turn your leaf green without very much coloring. And it's really a light touch, goes a long way. And once you've got your Wink of Stella open and you've got the glitter flowing, you really don't need to squeeze it. If you do, it will, speaking from experience, kind of go all over the place. And you'll end up with puddles of glitter everywhere. This is incidentally the only glitter that is allowed in my craft room, because I worked with kids for many years, and frankly, glitter scares me more than I care to admit. All right, so I'm just going to keep going. You can do all of the leaves or just pick up a couple of the accents. And then with this one, I would probably cut it down by 1/4 of an inch and do a mat in behind. So this I would cut to 4 by 5 1/4, and then have probably a Mossy Meadow or a neutral brown, maybe early espresso. Crumb cake would also be pretty, as my background matted piece. And then you can also, I don't know if you knew this, but you can color the Stampin' Up! Ribbon. So there's white seam binding in the catalog right now. You can actually color it several ways. You can color it with the alcohol markers, the Stampin' Blends. You can also color it with the watercolor markers, and you can also mix a little bit of the reinkers in with a little bit of water and make like a tie-dye solution, I guess, and dye it that way. If you use the watercolor application, it does take a little bit of time to dry, because you don't want to have your ink from the ribbon smeared all over your card. But usually I let it dry at least overnight if I'm knowing a particular color that I want to use. And then we go from there. Okay. And then I'm just wiping off the extra, any color that might be on my brush, onto my scrap piece of paper. So here's this. I don't know if you can see the shimmer and the shine right now, but our last card is actually the first one that I showed you. And we're going to be playing with the Pacific Point, is the blue. The tree was stamped in Memento Tuxedo Black, and then this is the Mossy Meadow. So I'm just going to show you how easy it is to get color onto the cardstock with the blending brushes. So again, just a piece of Whisper White. It doesn't matter which way you do it. You can do the blue first or the green first, whatever makes you happy. I'm going to start with the green this time. So I'm just opening up my Mossy Meadow. I'm taking my blending brush and I'm just rubbing it horizontally across. Oops, my hand's not very strong today, so things have gone flying in my craft room today. Just to pick up some of the ink onto the brush. Now, it won't look like you've got a ton of ink on here, but a little bit really, truly does go a long way. So I'm just going to start at the edge off of my cardstock, and I'm just going to brush it across. Go one way and bring it back the other way. And I'm going to ink it up some more. And then you want to start off of your cardstock so you don't end with, or start with this blotchy look on there. So we're just going to go one way and the other way. Okay, now this is a little streaky because I think this brush, this is a brush that I had used earlier and it's not 100% dry. It really doesn't take long to dry, but I was ill prepared today. So it actually looks like natural grass because there's dark spots and light spots and a little bit of texture. So I'm going to call that good, I think, for my grassy part. And then I'm going to take that off to the side. Now you can use the same brush for multiple colors. You just need to rub it off on a scrap piece of paper until there's absolutely no color going off onto your scrap piece. Because you also don't want your color to pick up onto your other ink pad. Now, if you're going to do this, I suggest that you go from light color to dark color. Oh, Vicky, I understand completely because YouTube did not want me to play tonight either, but it is letting me play and I hope the quality is okay. But that's okay. I'll also post this video link onto my Facebook page, which is Prairie Sky Paper Crafts. So you can always head over there too for more ideas and more inspiration. But I am going to switch out to another brush for my Pacific Point. Just going to put this over here. And then all you need to do, you can either, as I said, rub it off until no color comes out, or you can just run it under some water and go until the brush runs clear. Some of the brushes do, or some of the colors do stain, like reds are notoriously hard to get out of anything. And when you do use your brush, when you're drying it, make sure that you go bristle side down, but just let it prop up on itself, or prop something under the bristles so that nothing smushes the bristles. I have heard over the last couple of weeks from other sources and other Stampin' Up! Demonstrators that if you dry it this way, there is a possibility that something can happen with the glue that holds the bristles. I'm not really sure that that would apply to Stampin' Up! Brushes, but better to be safe than sorry. Okay, so we're going to do the same technique to get the Pacific Point on. We're just going to brush across the ink pad. Then I'm going to flip this over. And I'm going to go, let's see, I'm going to start here, I guess. And then again, start off of your paper and brush across. And I like to go both ways, just so that the edges look the same. And I'm just going to keep going until I am content with the color. And again, it's not that big of a deal if your blue isn't perfect all the way across, because it's the sky and there's different shades of blue. Okay. All right. I'm fairly happy with how that looks tonight. I'm just going to do just a little bit more over this way. A little bit more at the top. There we go. Oh, I got some on my table. Okay, so there's my sky and my grass. And then I'm just going to close the ink pad. You guys are going to get so tired of me hearing me say that. And I'm going to grab my Memento black ink and I'm going to take my tree And because the ink pad is smaller than the tree, I like to do ink pad to stamp just so that I can see what and where has been inked, just to make sure that all of the areas have been inked up. Okay. Cover it up. And then I want to have my tree kind of on a little bit below where the green ends and the blue starts. And I'm just going to kind of center it. I think there it looks good. Kind of want an offset just a little bit so that I have room for my sentiment as well. Okay, and I'm just pressing straight down. You don't want to wiggle your stamp set this way because if you do, you'll have a shadow effect. Okay, so there's my tree. I'm just going to grab my sentiment, the thinking of you, and grab my Stampin' Scrub, just give it a quick little clean. I don't know if you guys have one of these, but when I first saw it, I was like, yeah, right. Why do I ever need anything like that? But it's actually surprisingly something that I usually have fairly close to me. This is a replacement one because my other one was getting very old and very well loved. So there's a sunshine and a raindrop. Usually what I do is I put a yellow sticker on the sun and a blue sticker on the rain so that you know which side is which. One side you spray with Stampin' Mist and then the other side you dry it with. Now this has already been sprayed, so it's damp. Oops. I'm just going to rub it here and I'm going to rub it to dry on the other side. All right, there we go. Perfectly clean stamp. Now I'm going to grab my Pacific Point, open it up. And again, I'm just going to, actually this one I'm going to tilt just a little. And then there we go. So it kind of looks like it's been written in the clouds. So that's all that I have for you tonight. Next week, we're continuing with the masculine theme. So if you guys have anything in particular that you would like me to show you how to do, if there's a technique that you're questioning or a stamp set that you would like to see featured, if I have it, I will be more than happy to go ahead and do that for you. All I ask is that you put your request in by probably Tuesday so that I have time to get everything ready. So here's the 3 cards that we've made. I'll be posting these on my Facebook page as well, along with the link for this video. So if you want to go back and reference it, you can. Where did my other card go? Tell ya, gremlins, they're alive and well in my craft room. Oh, there it is, under my Stamparatus. Okay, so there's our 3 cards. I hope you had some fun. I hope you learned a little bit tonight. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic night. As always, I appreciate it. See you soon.